Well, it might be not much to look at right now because it's so foggy, but this is Lima, Peru. And this is trip number 16, which is a bit of a milestone. I can't believe we only have 5 left, including this trip. I'm not ready for things to end, but I still have several months. It's just the last trips I have are all quite long. This is a 22-day trip. This is the Andean crossing. And we start off in Lima before we head off to the Amazon jungle tomorrow. So hopefully it clears up and we'll find out what the city actually looks like. But for now, check out these foggy pictures. Moments ago I ran into Randy. I left Randy yesterday on the Ecuador and Galapagos trip, and he's here. You're doing the Latin Quest, which is a 36-day trip. We are right now in front of the Bridge of Sighs. Do you know anything about the Bridge of Sighs?
I heard you're supposed to make a wish and hold your breath.
And you rush across the bridge.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're going to do that right now, but it's great running into you.
Yeah, good.
Didn't think I'd see you again when we said goodbye at the airport, but apparently we will.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Take care, Randy.
Yeah, take care.
Forgot to make a wish. I just held my breath. But it's a very short bridge. It's not much of an effort to hold your breath across that bridge. But I guess it's tradition, so you gotta do what they do. So we're right now walking through the historical center of Lima, and one of the things that strikes me about all these buildings around here, as well as the streets themselves, is the fact that it's very, very Spanish. And that obviously makes sense considering Spain ruled this area for about 300 years after they defeated the Inca Empire. But it's one of those places where if you actually just look at the buildings and not be aware that you're in Lima, you would probably swear that you're actually in a Spanish city. And that's not a bad thing. I think the Spain architecture is quite beautiful. It's very colorful, as you can see, and it's a very pretty city. And I'm happy to say the sun has finally come out and the fog has been lifted. Well, we've left Lima and we're back in the Amazon jungle, at least I'm back. Previously, as you saw, I think 2 weeks ago, I was in the Ecuador Amazon jungle, and now I'm on the Peru side of the Amazon jungle. And some of us are going to go kayaking, and some of us are going to go in a canopy in the sky. I've elected to do the canopy, and I'm excited for that. Although with this heat, certainly jumping into the water would be a refreshing option, but I've already made up my mind.
Searching for new life. Reaching for new heights. Into the daylight. So
How was it?
It was good. It's not stable. It's not stable at all.
This is probably the most precarious part. This last bit. Ooh. Probably also not the safest doing this with my camera just in my hand, but I gotta get you content. You expect nothing less of me.
Searching for new life. Reaching for new heights. Into the daylight. So open your eyes. We're making the climb. Taking the dive. Deep into the wild.
I'm glad to say that the bridge that we just crossed did not end up like this one, because I think it's still here from whenever it collapsed. I'm not even sure where it originally would have spanned, but this is definitely the remains of a former canopy bridge here in the rainforest.
The wild, wild is calling. The wild, wild is calling now. The wild, wild is calling. There's no time, no time. Oh, the wild, wild is calling. The wild, wild is calling now. The wild, wild is calling. There's no time, no time. Oh, the wild, wild is calling. The wild, wild is calling now. The wild, wild is calling. No time, no time. Hey!
So as you can see, I'm sweating, and it's not just me, it's everyone. It's about 35 degrees right now. I'm having an Inca Cola, which, if memory serves right, tastes a lot like Tahiti Treat, but I haven't had that in probably 15 years, so who knows, but it tastes delicious. It could taste like piss for all I know. In this weather, I would drink that too. Maybe it is piss, I don't know. Well, we finally made it to our accommodation, and we're all starving after that boat trip and that hike, and an all-day, pretty much travel day, including a flight here from Lima. We finally arrived, and we can smell dinner, so super excited to eat. These are Brazilian nuts. We actually just cracked them open fresh. One of the big nuts fell from the sky, well, from a tree, and we're gonna have these. I've never actually had a Brazilian nut before. This is the first one, and I'm expecting good things. I've heard good things from other people who have tried it. It's not life-changing, but as far as nuts go, they're pretty good. This is a painkiller, allegedly. Is it like liquid?
Yeah, you have to really get into it though to work.
I don't even eat vegetables. This tastes disgusting.
The Capo trees are the tallest trees in the Amazon rainforest. They go up to 60 meters tall.
Well, I've added one more thing to the list of things I don't want to do ever again, and that was this climb. My forearms are completely dead and we still have to go all the way back down. And the view is beautiful, but probably not worth it. Well, we all made it down. Some of us wetter than others, but there's still a group of us that gotta go, but it was great, guys. Have fun.
What did I think of it, Corey? I really enjoyed my time climbing up into the canopy of the Amazon rainforest. It's a good workout on the arms and legs, I tell you, but nothing you cannot handle. Enjoy.
I, on the other hand, could not handle it. I almost slid down just from my sweat alone.
Give me a leak.
Salty. So we've just arrived in Cusco and we're doing a walking tour of the town. We flew in from the Amazon this morning, so it's been a long day. But tomorrow's gonna be an even longer day as we head out to Machu Picchu and I get to cross off the fourth wonder of the world, which is something that I had never really thought about doing in my life, but I'm super happy that I'm just beginning to just knock them out one after the other here on my Contiki Odyssey. Really great place where families come together and make clothing and trinkets out of different animals such as llamas, alpacas. They also have a guinea pig mansion, which is really adorable, although I know eventually they'll probably eat them, so that's a bit heartbreaking, but hey, I ate guinea pigs just a few weeks ago, so I'm part of the problem. But they don't have the same sentimental attachment to them here that we do in North America, so for them, there's nothing wrong with it. So we've been here for about an hour now, and it's just starting to clear up now. It actually got worse, but as you can kind of see behind me over here, it's actually beginning to clear up. So hopefully in the next 20 to 30 minutes, we'll have a nice clear view of Machu Picchu, the fourth wonder of the world that I've seen on this trip in the last 8 months. Hard to describe how large this site is, and it's also really hard to believe how recent it is. It's only around 500 years old. It was built in 1450, but it was abandoned by the Incas in 1572. The Spanish never found it. It's in a very hidden, remote location, and the fog doesn't do it any favors either, and that's really difficult to see. But I guess when the Incas left it, overgrowth took over the entire area, so it was one gigantic forest or jungle. And when they actually rediscovered it, they set fire to the place to actually remove all of the trees and all of the overgrowth. So it blackened all of the stone that's around the site. But as a result of it being hidden for hundreds of years, it's extremely well preserved, and they're actually still uncovering stuff today. But it's one of the best wonders I think I've seen. Ranks up there with the Taj Mahal. Probably my two favorite wonders. I mean, Petra's also really beautiful, but I still got more to go, so you never know what's next. But it's cool, and hopefully the videos I'm showing you right now do it justice. It's just really beautiful, incredible. I love the fog. It's a really atmospheric way to see this place. So if you get a chance, definitely come out to Machu Picchu. It's very well preserved and a place that everyone should see in their lifetime.
Or tails, taking chances, don't look back, wishing wells, hope for something, hold my breath, you're something else, worth the wait, and here at last, over the moon and above the stars, you got my heart,
Oh.
Here we go, it's now or never, take me home. Let's go together, look out below, 'cause I'm falling for you.
This is another set of ruins that was built for the Inca emperor at the time. They built it using stone from that mountain over there that they then brought over here up this ramp right here to construct the area that we see today. What's interesting is that, like a lot of these other Inca ruins, this site was abandoned, and they know that because this ramp is still left over. Had these ruins been completed, that ramp would have been covered over and closed off, so as to complete the fortification. But as a result, when the Spanish came and conquered this area, they fled just like they fled everywhere else, and this was converted into a Spanish stronghold. Just like all the other Inca ruins that we've seen, this place is absolutely beautiful. I can't believe there's only a few tourists here. I mean, it is raining a little bit, but I think this is probably one of the quieter tourist attractions when it comes to the Inca ruins. But the way that some of these buildings are just built into the hill, I have no idea how they would have done this back in the day. I mean, this was only 500 years ago, so this isn't nearly as ancient as some of the ruins that I saw through Asia and through India, but certainly impressive from an archaeological point of view and from an architectural point of view. It's very high altitude, and I didn't think it'd be something that would affect me, but it certainly has. It's very difficult to breathe. Even doing just short bursts up, you're constantly just, breathing really heavily. My asthma doesn't help in any way, and the fact that I haven't worked out in 8 months doesn't help in any way. So it's a bit higher than I wish it was, but it's absolutely worth the hike because these views are absolutely insane and out of this world. See what I mean? It should not be this difficult. Note to self, get in shape fast because I've got some big hikes coming up in the next couple of months. And I'm going to need to be able to be in tip-top shape for them. Oh well, onward and upward. We're trying to get the selfie with the llama. This one's being very difficult. Okay, just a sec. Come here. Over here. Over here. I mean, he's very cute. This one's very tall, but there we go. See? There we go. Oh, he's like, damn it! It's very difficult. I've only got one so far. I think that works. So here's coming again. I think we got it that time.
I'm gonna throw up. Laura, you need to take a photo of me, please. And then I gotta go change. It's not funny.
I think it was just a bunch of this green stuff that they spit all over. It kind of looks a little bit like throw up, but we're letting her down easy and just telling her that it's spit. You want to say hi? Want to say hi to the camera? He's a bit shy. Very shy.
Llama, alpaca. Sexy llama.
Do people confuse them a lot?
Yes, they confuse them a lot, no? Because of the wool, because of some of them are taller than the other ones.
Is there any other differences other than their hair and their neck? Like, do they serve any other purposes?
For sure. The llamas are used as packing animals to transport products. And we raise alpacas just because of their meat and their wool. The finest one is the baby alpaca, which is the first shape of the alpaca. It's very soft.
And we're also we're having alpaca for dinner tonight.
Yeah, delicious. Very
So,
tender.
bye guys. Bye.
You are delicious.
We get to pick which one we have.
For sure. I picked the big one.
I want the one with the thickest cut of meat. That's you over there.
Tenderloin, delicious.
So finally having alpaca,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's actually really good. Sorry, I would have it again.
Yeah, I mean,
It just tastes like beef or steak.
unless you're like really.
However, these mashed potatoes,
Most people
Right
don't
here?
make the major leagues till they're 23, 24.
the best mashed potatoes I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I mean, you usually
They are
have to,
amazing.
you gotta sign somewhere, you have to work.
Just wait, I gotta get someone to back me up on this. Susan.
They are phenomenal. Absolutely the best ever.
There you go. 100% of the people we've talked to said it's the best mashed potatoes they've ever had. Must be true.
Well, our time in Cusco has come to an end. We have now left the Sacred Valley and we are on our way to Bolivia. And if the scenery around me is any indication, we're in for a beautiful, beautiful treat. So next week, Bolivia. So we've arrived in La Paz. This is in Bolivia, and we are right now doing a cable car tour of the city. The cable car here has only been in existence for I think the last 5 or 6 years. It was only built in 5 years as well, which is pretty remarkable. There's 10 lines, and it's their version of a metro system, which is really neat. So you actually take a cable car to get everywhere that you want to go. Previously, there's 2 cities nearby. There's a place called El Alto, and this is La Paz. And to get from La Paz to El Alto, you should take 2 hours with traffic. Now with the cable car, it takes about 10 minutes. So it's a huge time saving for the people that live here in Bolivia. And it's also kind of fun, especially because the views here are absolutely incredible. So we're right now in the Moon Valley, which is just outside of La Paz. And I guess it's named like this because Neil Armstrong came here a couple of years after he was on the moon and commented that this place looked a lot like the moon. So I have no idea whether or not that's true, but it certainly looks a bit alien depending on where you're standing, and I'll let you be the judge of that. But La Paz is one of the highest cities on Earth. It is an elevation of 3,600 meters or 12,000 feet, which is extremely high. And I'm constantly finding myself trying to catch my breath in ways I've never really felt before. I mean, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and just take in a huge, huge breath because I found I don't have enough oxygen in me. So that's something I never really expected. I come from one of the tallest cities, or the highest cities in Canada rather, in Calgary, and that's only 1,000 meters. So this is a big change from that, but really, really cool out here. I think La Paz might be one of the most beautiful cities I've ever actually been to. It's really cool how they have this cable car system, which, having now taken it pretty much the entire day, every city should have it because you see the city in such a unique way. Normally you've got the metro, which goes underground, but being able to see the city from the sky, especially a city this gorgeous with this much views and rolling hills and everything, it's a really special place, and I'm really glad I came here, and it wouldn't have been on my list had I not been doing this with Contiki. They're moonwalking in the Moon Valley. They actually did pretty good. You guys were a lot better than I expected. Thank you. That hat looks good on me.
You're a true La Paz carnival party animal. Pachamama.
We haven't walked very far and I'm already out of breath, but we got these things as part of a ceremony. We threw some biodegradable confetti off a bridge for good luck, and I guess now we're officially carnival masters is what our tour guide said we were. So I don't know what that means. I have no idea how that affects our day-to-day life, but I'm happy to say that I'm now a carnival master and I'll never be taking this off. Also, really nice view. It's wet, and my rain jacket is currently on the bus in my luggage, sitting on the bottom. So I'm going to be braving the weather today with nothing but this shirt, but this survived in Calgary at -10. I think I can survive Sucre at +14 and rain. So, but if I get sick, you know why. Get to go inside now, into the museum. What is this a museum of?
Textile.
Oh, it doesn't sound that interesting. It wasn't. I actually think this is a very quaint, pretty, quiet town. Only 300,000 people are here, so it's kind of nice exploring the city when there's not a lot of tourists around, and obviously a lot of that's to do with the rain, but yeah, this is Sucre. Alright, so I'm here with Martin.
Hello.
Martin is from Slovakia.
Yes, I am.
Where in Slovakia are you from?
From a small village called Lubietova. It's close to a small town called Banska Bystrica, right in the middle of the country.
The only place I've ever been in Slovakia is Bratislava, so...
That's good enough.
Good enough. And we are now in Sucre. And what do you think of Sucre?
It's really nice. I really like this city, actually. We went to La Paz before, and actually we came today from La Paz to Sucre, and Sucre is much nicer, according to my opinion, of course, than La Paz. So I'm really positively surprised.
Yeah, I think the buildings are a lot nicer. I like the cable cars really get a really nice view of the city of La Paz in a way that, I mean, now that we're up here high, we're getting quite the view of Sucre, which kind of shows off some similar vibes. But these two cities have both been very pretty.
Yeah, but my preference is for Sucre.
Yeah? Well, from what I keep hearing, everything we're going to see just gets more and more beautiful. So
I hope so.
I can't wait to see those the salt flats.
Yeah, likewise.
I got a sub, and they didn't speak any English, which, I mean, to be fair, they don't need to. I unfortunately don't speak any Spanish, but I was able to order a super large submarine sandwich, and this is what I got. Like, this thing is massive. This is the biggest sub I've ever had, and it also tastes amazing. There's sausage in it, there's ham, there's cheese, some really stringy cheese, and I also got a coffee. And this, including the coffee, was $5 Canadian. You can't beat this price. And it's also warm. It's a really good sub, beats Subway. I'm glad to find hole in the walls like this, because this is a delicious treat that I'm experiencing here in Sucre. And behind me, you can actually see footprints of dinosaurs that they discovered here, I want to say around 30 to 40 years ago. So they were excavating the area, a cement company, and they discovered these footprints, and these footprints were actually left around 65 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. So they're actually on one of the tectonic plates, and those plates have since shifted and now pointing upwards, forming the mountain behind me. And when they uncovered them, they actually decided to stop excavating, build a museum around here, and now there is a cement factory with a dinosaur museum in the middle. It's really bizarre, but it's really neat that these footprints are so well preserved. I think they've discovered over 12,000 different footprints of dinosaurs, and through the discovery of these footprints, they realized that there is a lot more variety of animals, dinosaurs rather, than they realized initially. So it's kind of a neat experience, and let's check out some of these footprints in closer detail. This is Potassi, which many years ago was one of the biggest cities in the world. It actually rivaled London as well as Paris. It was actually famous for its silver mines, and right now they're celebrating Carnival, so they are dancing in the streets, and our group has bought some of the silly string and they're spraying each other with it. So we are leaving now and we are heading to Uni, and up next is the Salt Flats, which I think a lot of people are really excited for, and that's a big reason why a lot of them booked this Bolivia trip. So see you next week.
Picture this, you and me, more alive than we've ever been. Wide awake, breaking free from the box of fitting in. So right now, we're not gonna waste another day. Right now, today, we're gonna run on water, set our fears on fire, fly these dreams even higher. It's gonna be us, gonna rule like lions, take down all the giants, write the rules and we'll defy them. It's gonna be us, gonna be us.
we get to spend the next 2 days here taking all kinds of photos, all kinds of videos. We're gonna get those perspective photos that are famous on Instagram. We're gonna get some reflective photos, which are only available when there's a lot of rain. And yeah, it's really, really cool. But right now, we're gonna go have lunch. Our drivers have actually prepared lunch for us, and we're gonna be able to eat here in the middle of the salt flats, which is really cool. Is one of the coolest things I've seen probably on my entire trip, and I didn't actually expect it to be this magical, but it really is. It's really, really cool.
It's gonna be us. It's gonna be, we're gonna run on water, set our peers on fire, fly these dreams even higher. It's gonna be us, gonna be us. Gonna rule like lions, take down all the giants, fight the rules and we'll defy them. It's gonna be us, gonna be us.
Literally every single photo we take takes about 10 minutes to actually get.
It's gonna be us. It's gonna be us.
That last part with the squats was exhausting.
I'm stuffed. Whew. What a workout.
I met a girl there in the bright side of a dream. Sweet Arizona, sweet as I had ever seen. Listening to Rolling Stones and rolling in the deep. La la la, la la la, la la la. Drove out to Malibu, got lost along the way. Wound up in Mexico and thought we'd never stay. Cold drinks and hot beaches, we danced the night away. La la la, la la la, la la la.
This is a really cool spot right now, and everywhere you look is just another photo opportunity. We only have, I think, 40 minutes here, but I've stopped to take photos at least 30 of those 40 minutes so far. It is really picturesque, and I don't think I've seen anything like this. I've never been somewhere that's this arid, but also, I mean, just look at that. Behind me, that view is unlike anything I've ever seen, and I'm guessing you watching at home have never seen anything like this either. It's just full of contrast.
This island, guys, it is all covered by fossils that were corals. So that means they were life here.
So do we think that potentially this entire area used to be underwater?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. All this area was entirely covered by water.
Sweet Arizona, sweeter than California, sweeter than Tennessee, sweeter than Colorado, sweeter than Georgia peach. Started with conversation, now you're here next to me. 24/7 days of sweet. In Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. But I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken.
So right now we're in the Army of Rocks, which is a series of rocks that are left over from when there used to be a lake surrounding this area. And as you might see, the rocks are all kind of at an angle. And the reason they believe they're at an angle is that a volcanic eruption many years ago actually bent them over by the force.
So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting
It's a magical place, it's a beautiful place, it's an astonishing place, and I'm constantly surprised by what's around the next corner. I didn't realize these geysers were here. We're going to hot springs up next. The salt flats were beautiful. It's just been one mind-blowing experience after another, and I'm hoping the pictures do it justice because I've literally run out of words. Right now walking through the second moon valley that I've seen on this trip. This one is just outside of San Pedro in Chile, which we are now. Elevation's a lot more forgiving, so it's a lot easier to hike this one. But this looks like something straight out of Star Wars. It is really, really brown, really, really neat, and completely untouched.
So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher.
beginning to think we should just rename this entire series to the climbing series, because it feels like all I'm doing is going up, 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 and out of breath all the time. But it's always worth it, because at the top of all these hikes, there's always a beautiful view like this one. And this brings to a close yet another trip. The Andean crossing is 22 days, and it's actually really, really cool. A lot of variety. I would say it ranks up there with the Scandinavian Russia trip, as well as the Asian adventure trip, for the variety of things that you do in about a 3-week period. So definitely recommend it. As for me, I don't know if it's group dynamics or what's going on, but this is probably the quietest I've ever been on a trip. I was borderline antisocial, much quieter than I've been on a lot of the other trips that I've done. So I'm hoping I get my mojo back. I've got Carnival coming up next, which is going to be a huge party, and I don't want to be spending it as a mute. So we'll see what happens, but I fly out tomorrow night. As for Santiago, I'm sure a lot of people watching this are curious how the riots and civil unrest have affected our trip. In a word, or in a couple of words, it hasn't. Certainly you see the remnants of everything. You see graffiti on lots of walls. You see a lot of boarded up windows. I've seen supermarkets that have been attacked. I've seen banks that have been attacked. And there's just graffiti everywhere. In fact, I was just walking around the largest tower in South America. I think it's called the Grand Tour. And I could smell fresh spray paint. So it was just recently laid there around that area. But it hasn't actually affected us in any way, which is great. We've been pretty good about avoiding any of the locations that probably would be at high risk. But something to be aware of if you are coming out to this area. Just be conscious and take care of yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna get on that plane tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully I've got some more energy.